A new year, a new goal. I must admit, 2023, I felt like I was in my prime. But this year, I have a goal. My goal is to make more fucking videos than what I did last year. How many videos did I make last year? Hold on. I gotta look this up. 14. I think in 2022 I made like 30. But 2024, I want to make more videos. And we're going to start off with this one. We're doing the Stanley Parable Part 2. Now, I don't quite remember what happened last time. I know last time was on Minecraft, which that was whack. But yeah, someone did tell me to get the Ultra Deluxe version. So I actually did end up getting it. I don't know why I didn't get it from the beginning. But yeah, we're gonna do basically I went through my first video and just went through pretty much what I didn't really go through, I guess you could say. Like I didn't go through certain paths or whatnot or do certain things. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got them all listed here. And since we got the Ultra Deluxe version, there's more shit to cover. But yeah, I've been really looking forward to doing more of this, because I like games that fuck with your brain, that have got that sense of humor, like Undertale. Undertale doesn't necessarily fuck with your brain as much as the Stanley Parable does, but it's a good game regardless. Speaking of games, oh, yeah, I mean, if there was one thing that wasn't on my my 2023 bingo card, it was an announcement for a fucking Bendy movie. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, that's huge. I have FNAF. Wrong movie fan base, I guess, but we got FNAF? Now we're getting Bendy? That's insane, dude. Now, I don't know the full context of it, but, man, a Bendy movie? That's insane. And Bendy the Cage, I believe, is supposed to be out sometime this year as well. I will be playing that, for sure. Yeah, basically, other things I want to do for 2024 is I want to make a video on like who I think should cast the Bendy in the Bendy movie. Because, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, I made a joke saying Ryan Reynolds should be Sammy Lawrence, but I doubt that'll be the case. But yeah, that's gonna be there. I want to do FNAF VR 2. That's not gonna be for a while probably. I've already seen all the shit that happens, but I'd love to play it. But I'm getting off track here, like I usually do. I find it funny I do that shit all the time. We're here for Stanley, not for Bendy or FNAF or anything like that. We're here for Stanley. Good old Stanley, mate. Alright, let's do this. Also, if I sound very groggy, I'm sorry. I've been really sick recently. Like, I had the flu and all that. Another thing I feel like I should add is, in the last video, the sound was off and the resolution was very, very awful. But, everything should be fine now. I've got the Ultra Deluxe version and I did test it out. So, everything should be good. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Oh, Oh, that's clever. I actually got on here to kind of just test out the audio. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. You're welcome. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Of course. That's how I know you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the time you're setting are correct. Well, I will say it is indeed around like 8:20. It's not exactly 8:20, but it's close. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Okay. Go ahead. Pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Why do I feel like you're gonna pull some stupid shit like that? Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay. That was... That's blaring in my ears. Okay. Let's do this shit. We're already off to a crazy start. Well, not really crazy, but you know, one of those kind of starts. You gonna give me that same intro again?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh yeah, subtitles are on too. This honestly looks a lot smoother too.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Oh, Stanley was born for this shit. Go employee number 427.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Absolutely.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dude, this feels a lot smoother now. Okay, so I actually saw something. I actually watched Jacksepticeye play a little bit of the first one. There's an achievement if you apparently click this door. Or is it like 5 times?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Yeah.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No,
I mean,
no.
You made it.
I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Okay, let's
now
go.
Suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Really now?
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I'm just spamming the clicker, or the left click.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Yeah.
I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Gladly. Where the fuck is it? Where is it?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Okay, you're literally just going back and forth in this, I know. 437, it is... Oh, it's over here.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yes.
Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Alright, 415. I think I gotta go further. There it is.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh my gosh. Back to door 437. Yes.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
This one?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Which is this one? How do you climb it? Oh. Get up there. You can't jump.
Yes!
Yay!
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Gladly.
We've almost got it!
Let's do
The
it!
copy machine,
Yeah!
do that one again!
Fuck yeah! Oh yeah! I am pumped!
Finish it off, Stanley!
Oh.
5 clicks on door 430!
Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
That just goes to show you, you can put your mind on anything you want. You can do anything you put your mind to. The fuck was that? Alright, where were we? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So wait, what was the one that I needed? I knew someone commented on there that there was an ending for something to do with this closet. I don't know how to get it exactly, but I'll figure it out eventually.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So there's a door down there. Ooh, hello. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Is this just a bathroom? Okay, I think this is just a bathroom. Okay, well it's nice you can go in that room. What about in here? You can't go in there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
Let's see
an
if I can remember
indication
this.
of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who Stanley was in such a rush to get through the
And then
story
it's
as
just gonna
quickly as
tell me to
possible.
take a
He
breather.
didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yep.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed
I can't
for a
play the
few moments
piano.
with some calming new age music.
I want to play the piano. So wait, what am I doing again?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passage.
Why is it... Okay, that's new. That is 100% new. Ooh, this feels a lot more sinister. wow. You can tell that it's a huge improvement from the first one. I like it. I like games that... Ooh. Mwah.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Yes.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Okay.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright, let's see. I want to go...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
think I want to go this way. Right? Small platform. Yeah, I want to go this way, because where we're getting crushed, I saw there was
Although
a
this passageway had the
small
word
platform.
escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yes. Thanks for pointing that out, narrator.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Ooh, would you look at that? So wait, I jump down here, don't I? Yeah, I literally just jumped to my death. Oh, that is freaky. Yeah.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched
I don't know if
closer
you
and
can
closer to his
get
demise,
there or
it
not.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision
I don't
of
think
what
you
this
can.
world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
I doubt it.
And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye, Stanley. And then it drops me down here. Yep.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay, I think I need to go this way then. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I still have no idea how to figure out, is that ending sequence. I think I'm gonna have to look that one up, because that one's actually very confusing. Warzone, what the fuck? This must be new. Narrator's emails. What do the lights in the control room do? Oh. Okay. Okay, that's eerie. Where was that one room at? It was down here. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, what the fuck? Huh. Oh. Okay, hold on. Do it again. Do it again. I don't think that does anything. Oh, there's something down there. How do you get down there, though? Underground. Yeah, this definitely... Yeah, like I said in the last video, I think these are literally just some archives. But still, it doesn't hurt to explore, you know? Yeah, we're literally back here. So, I'm gonna go back down this way. I'm gonna gonna go through here. Does this do anything? Or what's back here? Yeah, I'm just gonna go...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Alright. I'm gonna say quit. Just see what happens. Nothing fucking happened. Of course not. Yeah, I don't think anything happened.
Or I got back on track.
We want to go down here. Because there's those doors where he's like, you go
But Stanley
left.
didn't want to
Or
go
no,
back
I'm
to
sorry,
the
you go
office.
right.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, oh, no.
Oh,
no,
you
it's to the right,
bastard.
my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I love how he gets confused at this part. It's funny.
Let's see, we went down right,
Right?
left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely
Alright,
this way.
fine. I'll go this way. There's nothing else. Oh, it just takes you back here.
No. This isn't right at
Okay.
all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
I think
How
this...
about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
Ooh.
Okay, from the top.
Okay, so this actually leads somewhere that I actually do need to look at.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
This
go
is
to
where
the
he
meeting
gets
room.
confused
Perhaps he had
and
simply
shit.
missed a memo.
And accidentally fucks up the story. Because, like, the doors... Yeah, the doors should be closed.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, this is where you get all fucky wucky with the... Ooh. What's back here? Or no, wait. Yeah, it's literally just a bunch of doors, and you just kind of run around for a few seconds.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure
Yeah,
I've ever
you
been
kinda
on. I
just-
can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Yeah, let's...
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay, yeah. Just restart the game, and then there's going to be no doors.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder if I click on... No. So there's going to be no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha!
Okay.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
So...
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yeah, and then it takes place in some warehouse. Yeah. And then...
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were
And then
supposed
this
to
is
be
where...
doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
I win!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Nope.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, so this is where the line comes in. We're
All
not
right,
going to follow
I've
the
got
line.
a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
I'm going to go this way.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I don't think I have...
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay, smartass. We'll just keep going the opposite way.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
Yeah.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
Are they all dead ends?
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Wait, what did it do?
Go back and look at that fern.
Fern? Hold on. What's a fucking fern? I'm too stupid. Fern. Oh, it's a plant. Okay.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
How?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. What's so important about the fern? Oh, now we're back here.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, now we're back here.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I like how he gets sick and tired of Stanley. Okay, so we're here now.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay, this is the confusing ending, or the confusion ending. So, hold on.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it.
Nope.
I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
Oh, doesn't it make that
How would we even
noise
know?
that...
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay. Okay, so... what's that? New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
Ooh,
new content.
Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Yes, sir. Now we're talking. All right. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, this looks...
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Consoles?
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I think it is too. Are we gonna go? Is it
broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Oh. Okay. The jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay. Oh man, no more jumps. Well, that was fun while it lasted. What's this?
Is that it?
I hope not.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
Dude,
The
that would take a
Stanley Parable
lifetime.
Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more.
Yay!
Yes, I knew there had to be something else.
Ooh.
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
What do we got here? Thank you for enjoying
That's
the new
it?
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold
Twitter.
them personally
It's
accountable.
X now, get it right.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay, are we going back to the beginning? Oh, this is new.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
Going in the vent. What is this, Among Us? Okay. I'll follow you in the vent, why not?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just
Whoa.
our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory
Well,
Zone.
this is...
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Are these all awards that the Stanley Parable has won? Huh. That's pretty cool. It's a Steam page and everything. Holy shit. Are they pulling a Mr. Krabs here? Is that like your first dollar or something? Is that the demo? Huh. This is actually kind of nice. Where he's the scene where Stanley's just laid out in the floor. What's this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay, so I'm gonna go this way first. I don't think you can go through any doors.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Whoa.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
Oh boy.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I mean, they have their ups and downs. What's this one? Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I like how they're using the negative reviews to their advantage. That's pretty clever. Where am I supposed to go? This way? I don't think it really matters. Well, there's a path this way, so... There's another one, I see it. Ah, thunder.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an
Oh.
awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
You're not a failure.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
You are not a failure. I mean, look at what we did together. We got an achievement together. We clicked on door 435 times. And you want to say you're a failure? Dude, me and you are going to have a talk. Alright, we got another one.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
What?
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue.
I don't want to hit it.
Something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time every...
What?
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description. Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say
Cookie
about
9?
this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
What the fuck?
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Oh shit, it is gone.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every... Oh, Stanley.
Oh,
You're back.
why is it dark?
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Have you not
Just sitting
ate?
here, not a single person to speak with. And you Oh,
Oh.
hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so
I think he's asleep. Oh, there's his alarm.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Is he asleep again?
The end is never the end, 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 is...
Whoa. What happened there? Why is it... I don't know. Again. Okay. Something tells me it's been a while. The narrator must have been dead by now. Oh, now we're back to this. That doesn't sound too good. Get me out of there, please. Okay, well the buttons... What the fuck? Oh, hello, what's this? What the hell? What? Can we hit the skip button still? Is there anything back here? Oh. What the fuck? Okay. That can't be right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Okay.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay, yeah. Please. Please humor me. Do I have to go through that loading sequence again? I hope not. Oh, thank God. Okay. That was interesting.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever The Stanley Parable 2.
Actually, I would be down for this.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a straight-up
Ultra Deluxe?
sequel.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Is this a PowerPoint on the Stanley Parable 2?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Whoa. This is a whole ass museum.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
So, hear your name in the game. That's new. No screenshots. I don't know what. The reassurance bucket. I think I've seen this one, actually. I could be wrong. Free, new, plus easy achievements. Infinite hole. Wow. An exit? I'm assuming that just takes you back to, like, the main menu. Or, like, the beginning. Okay, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2.
Why
as well.
not?
It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well.
Well, that's...
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Man, I really wanted the jump circle to come back. Oh, well. It is what it is. Okay, let's do this one. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the
For the Stanley Parable
game.
2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay. So is it gonna say my name?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
My name is Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes, I am.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
This button?
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second
Gets
time.
you right in the
If this were the
feels.
only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I want to hit it again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the gym button away.
No!
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I loved that button. What's in here? Nothing. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Can I, like... I guess not. Okay. I'm Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
What's in here? Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. What's this? Settings World Champion. That did nothing. I'm sure that does something. I just don't know what. Let's get a free achievement. Why not? Pull the lever and you receive your new achievement. Okay.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken.
Well,
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
what if I keep hitting it? But I want a free achievement. Huh.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Let's go to the infinite hole. There's a door over here, too. What goes here? No screenshots? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
How do I pick? Oh. That one?
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well,
Yeah.
someday it is.
What? I wanted this one, but... Okay, fine. Merch.
Oh, actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
This is really nice. Can't go in it. Alright, I want to go to the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What happens?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum.
I'm not gonna hit it.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow!
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay. Let's see him. What else we got? Achievement. Button. Bucket. Let's do this one.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
What do I do? Just pick it up?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So, do I just have a bucket?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
So wait, I did the jump circle. I did the button that says the name. Settings World Champion. I don't understand that one. I did the bucket one. Office decorations. Epilogue. I guess we just go through the exit. There is no exit. What the hell? Unless it's that way. Oh. I knew that. Taking the bucket with me.
Oh, goodness. Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the collectibles exhibit. You see, there is a surprise I was going to spring on you later,
Okay.
and it involves the collectibles. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
I'm at the collectibles. Do I just... Ooh. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay! I got one. Okay. So what do I gotta do? Find each one?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
So wait, do I actually have to go searching for them? Oh. Okay, what if I exit again? What the that's kind of disturbing.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Nice.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
What the fuck?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating
Why
gags,
is the
but they
jump
don't add
circle
up to
the
anything.
infinity hole?
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With
There you
respect.
go.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Okay. What the hell? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Huh.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Stanley Parable
Something
2.
that would forever change
This
Stanley.
seems to be just the
Something he
original
would
one.
never quite forget.
Wouldn't you think?
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company
Get well
had this happened.
someday.
This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
What?
Why was he not doing it? Stanley picked up the bucket.
What is it? Literally just everything, but with the bucket or the door? Okay, the doors are there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do I want to or do I not? I'll do it. I'll play along.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Do I?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Just takes a giant-ass sticker and just plops it on the
All right,
fucking
I've got a second
bucket.
sticker
Oh.
back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
It's a bucket.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Can I still give the bucket to the broom closet?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I like how he left a seat. Come on. Take the bucket. Come on. Surely you want this bucket. Alright, bye. I'm walking away.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to
And
the
the
boss's
bucket.
office.
Okay. Just had to include the fucking bucket as well. Oh, hi!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Well, thank you. I was actually just gonna come here, see if anything actually changed. Okay, well,
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
that bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
That bucket does me want. Ooh, another one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
I would actually
Stanley
buy
figs.
one of these if they made them.
What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I like that.
I like that.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Perfect. I'd buy a Stanlerine.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret
I wonder
did
if
place
this is
hold?
literally
Stanley and the
just-
bucket both wondered to themselves.
I doubt it. This is literally just the original game, but with that fucking bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It'll be okay, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
That bucket means the world to you.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Okay. Hello?
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Okay, that's
Both of them
random.
wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
What?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait.
Ah,
What was happening?
shit.
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No, I gotta leave the bucket?
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? Okay. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting today in the meeting room. Has that always been there?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I'm going.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm going this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I want to go this way.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
What's that over there? How do you get over there? Huh. I'm gonna go.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
What the hell?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What the fuck? Where's the...
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do
I like how he's
anything
very
else.
specific about it, too.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Hey, how dare you?
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
For the bucket?
No. What's going on? Why do I want
Whoa!
to hear what the bucket has to say? Do anything it asks? What's wrong with me?
What are you
I
gonna
don't
do, fuck
understand.
the bucket?
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Wait, are we gonna have sex with the bucket?
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it.
No.
Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Were we about to make love to the bucket? Okay. I guess we were about to make love to the bucket.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Is it that fucking bucket? Gotcha. Well, the bucket's
The
right here.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door
I'm gonna
on his
go
left
through those
to go
colored
back
doors,
to
and
the
I think
meeting
I'm
room,
gonna end it there. There's
No,
said the bucket.
definitely
don't go to the meeting
more
room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
to
lift.
this.
Yeah, good.
I
said
don't
the
know
bucket.
what exactly.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
I'm not gonna
It
obey
should have
the
alarmed
bucket.
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Hey, bucket. Go fuck yourself.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
Where?
Stanley,
Oh.
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Okay, this was the part that I was...
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right?
Yeah.
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect.
What?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
But it can be used as a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Bucket. Not a bucket.
Item 4.
Not a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
What if I actually said that was a bucket? I mean, it kind of can't be.
Is this a bucket?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
How?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both.
Both?
Gotcha.
How? Okay.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I mean... Screw it.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
You could be.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay.
Not my
Here we
bucket.
go.
Don't erase my bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
Wait.
Was everything a
Oh
bucket?
my god.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
What? Okay.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright. Last... How can we find them? There will be a reward for finding them all. Somewhere both red and blue. Stairs, something to do with stairs. A large room, lots of boxes. Is this where all the... A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs. The only thing I can think of that has something to do with stairs is... down...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
down here? Ha!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in
Wait,
his arms.
what?
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed.
Gracious.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all
What, is
along.
Stanley the bucket?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and
Her and that
security, and
bucket.
walked to her place of work.
Oh my... Really?
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
Nope.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. and she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. Oh, this is different. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is that a glitch? That looked like a glitch. Actually, wait. Where's my bucket? My bucket's gone!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay, so... somewhere both red and blue. I think where you mean by somewhere both red and blue, it's those doors. But a large room with lots of boxes? I don't know. But... honestly, I'm just gonna be real with you. I am not gonna worry about this tonight. It is getting pretty late. But... I'm gonna do another video on this. I'm honestly gonna watch someone fully play this and see what all I'm missing, because I am missing a lot, I can tell. But yeah, we're just gonna... the sequel is now paused. Quit to menu. What's it gonna take me to the... yep. Well, that was interesting, to say the least. I mean, I don't know if we did much or not. I feel like that was more just exploring like a lot of the new content than anything else. I mean, yeah, we got to have fun with a bucket. I think we almost seduced a bucket, oddly enough. But yeah, I like this game. I really do. It's a little confusing, but that's what this game's meant to do. It's meant to confuse you. But yeah, that's me done. Like I said at the beginning of the video, 2024, this is the year of the Smiley Nation. We're not backing down. Never back down, never what? Never give up. Yeah. But yeah, that's me done. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.